Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today's June 10th, and right now we're looking at the infrared slash visible satellite imagery. I'm going to put that on pause here. You can see we get the marine layer well entrenched along the Washington-Oregon coast. It comes in what is known as the Chehalis Gap, kind of a lower area here between the Olympic Mountains and some of the higher terrain across southwest Washington. But you can see it did creep in towards Shelton there, but the Puget Sound largely free of clouds this morning. Had some marine layer up and down the Oregon coastline as well. Kind of a mixed bag of clouds here as we have some thunderstorms that are going to be moving across portions of Oregon today as well. Take a look at that in some detail. And if we back out again here, you can see this smoke kind of entrenched here up across interior areas of northeast British Columbia and Alberta as well, mostly staying east of the Rockies there. The fires are already ongoing here this year. Luckily, none of that smoke is making its way back down into the Pacific Northwest as of yet. So taking a look at thunderstorms over the last 24 hours, you see how we did get some across southern Oregon. Let me know what you saw or heard out there if you get some of this activity again here today. And you can see this across portions of Idaho. Nothing for Washington or British Columbia or western Montana for that matter also. Now, if you want to go to the Patreon page, it is free to join here, and you get updates here when my daily videos come out. It's a great way to support the channel if you would like to do so as well. And there is a free public way to view this page also. Now, taking a look here, this is today. Look at this. We got wind and hail threat across portions of Montana and portions of Oregon. And we're going to take a look at that in a little bit more detail here in a moment. Take a look at one of the high-resolution models on that activity here. And tomorrow, clipping again eastern portions of Oregon, Idaho, and some southwestern Montana there with, again, a wind and potential hail threat, mainly eastern Idaho. Now, this is day 3. You see the general thunderstorm risk does move off to the east here, and you get some additional storms starting to fire up across some of the plains. Some marginal risk starts to move off there. But you can see that we weren't expecting anything for Seattle, Portland, western Oregon, or into southwest BC with these thunderstorms. So taking a look here, this is Medford, Oregon National Weather Service. Nice job here with the severe storm outlook. Again, today, Tuesday, June 10th. You can see this does include places like Medford, Ashland, Klamath Falls, there's Silver Lake, there's Adele, there's Lakeview right here, and in down towards Mount Shasta, Northern California, Oregon border there also. And again, you can kind of see that they're talking about lightning, strong winds, hail are the main hazards if thunder roars go indoors. 3 to 10 p.m. today. So just, it's a heads up for people off in the backcountry, whatnot. And yeah, so we'll see how those unfold today. Taking a look at Pendleton National Weather Service, you can see we do have some red flag warnings. Some fire conditions are out. There's some extreme heat warnings for places like there's Moses Lake, and you can see Wenatchee. And it got some heat advisories for many other areas. There's Lewiston right there, Pendleton, and you can see if you go off to the left there's the Dalles. Now, dry and breezy here. This is Spokane calling attention to some of that fire danger out there. Relative humidity, these gusty winds here are going to help fan those flames if these fires do get going. And this again was for yesterday, today, and tomorrow on in through June 11th there. So again, potential for a rapid spread of any wildfires, especially the grasslands. Now, looking at the European on the left versus the European on the right. This is last night's run versus yesterday morning. So you can just kind of scroll through here and kind of see what we have. And you can see the trough taking up residence here right off to our north and west. It's definitely going to cool us down. No big heat dome here in the meantime. And this goes out 144 hours. Again, this is yesterday morning's run. And you can kind of see the difference in the position of this low. So that's going to have some impact on just what we get here across the Pacific Northwest. We'll be watching that over the next few days. And I'll show you the latest on that here in a moment. The European ensemble, if I scroll and toggle back and forth, you can again see that it is calling for that troughing here. We're getting increased confidence on this cool down as we go through the end of the week and on in through this upcoming weekend. One more relatively warm day to go here across some places west, and then we start to cool things down across the entire region here over the next couple of days. So if we take a look at the European model here and we go through today, and again, you can kind of see these thunderstorms here. Again, there is a severe risk for wind and hail out there. Some of these thunderstorms are indeed packing a punch. We go on in through Wednesday, tomorrow, and you can see those thunderstorms are going to be kind of centered right across Idaho, western Montana, up into British Columbia. Some of the higher terrain of British Columbia, maybe even the Olympic Mountains, will trigger a shower with some of this activity here. And then we start to scroll on in towards Thursday afternoon. You can see British Columbia starting to get some more widespread thunderstorm potential here, maybe kicking off a shower northern Washington, eastern Oregon, maybe even the Cascades, Oregon. We'll see about that here in a moment. Actually, let me back up one more frame there, and we're going to take another look at this. We're going to play it out a little bit more towards Friday afternoon there, and you can see again thunderstorm potential across the higher terrain. Again, mainly eastern portions, but you can't roll it one out across the Oregon Cascades and maybe the Olympics and Vancouver Island and maybe some of the North Cascades of Washington. We go on in towards Saturday, and again, kind of rinse and repeat. This trough is going to be nearby. We're going to have some of the cooler air aloft, perhaps triggering some of these thunderstorms. Now, I want to go here, and I'm going to show you the North American model because we're going to scroll through what is coming today, and I'm going to drop down here to precipitation, composite reflectivity, and we're going to dive in a little bit further to the Pacific Northwest. I do want to show you the timing here on today's storms, actually, that is running right now. So we're going to back up one run, and we're going to take a look at today, and you can kind of see these red little blibs showing up there as we go on in through today, and you see these clusters of thunderstorms could be some prolific lightning producers there, again, across some of the southern Oregon Cascades, east slopes, and off across eastern Oregon, moving in towards Idaho as we go through tonight. And look at this overnight on in through early tomorrow morning. Lakeview down there still getting some thunderstorm activity as we go through tomorrow morning. Then you see that activity kind of creeping off to the east, but this is going to be for Wednesday afternoon as well. But this should be shifting off to the east a little bit there across portions of Idaho. And then we scroll on in through Thursday morning, and as we get this pattern change, the trough is going to be off the shoreline here, maybe triggering a few showers for northwest portions of Washington, Vancouver Island. But again, they are not going to be prolific lightning producers like what is coming here as we go through the day today and perhaps tomorrow for portions east of the Cascades. So taking a wider view of things here, 700 millibars, about 10,000 feet. You can kind of see the warmth here across some of the southwest and some of the western USA. But again, our heat is coming to an end, relatively speaking, here across Pacific Northwest, and you can see this colder air, this polar lobe showing up here at 10,000 feet, starting to push in here and, cooling us down. And we don't have any signs of any more warm-ups here as we go through the extended forecast. So kind of interesting to watch that trough kind of take up residence here as we go through the mid and the second half of June. We'll see how long that's going to hang out here in a moment. 15-day precipitation anomaly, kind of looking at this and hoping that we can switch this up, but we do have that below normal signal showing up in the European ensemble members. Interior areas, though, kicking off some more precipitation here with that trough around, likely to be above normal for some locations, see east of the Rockies there. But yeah, much of Idaho, Washington, Oregon, below normal over the next 15 days. And there's the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. This goes out 15 days as well. This is today. Still another fairly warm day here. Wednesday, we cool it down a bit more. You see the gradual cooling trend as we go through the end of the week, and then we just kind of keep things. The air conditioning is coming back on here, folks. So just wait for it as we go through this weekend and on in through next week. Spokane, something similar as well. You see today 91 in the European ensemble member, and then we cool things down as we go through the extended forecast. Now, looking at the entire region here, or a big portion of it, you can see today, again, some 100-degree plus readings out there for the Columbia Basin and Seattle, 82, some mid and upper 80s here for Western Oregon. Look all the way down across Southwest Oregon, 98 for some of the interior areas there as well. Boise up towards 98 also. We cooled things down a bit tomorrow, especially west of the Cascades. We go down below 100 degrees for Eastern Washington. We go to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, much more seasonable temperatures here as we go through this upcoming period. So could be a very nice stretch of weather, but still not a lot of precipitation showing up with this next trough. And there's Portland as well. I'll throw that in there, 84 degrees, 80. Gradual cool down comes, and you see no big heat wave in store for us as we move on in through the remainder of June. Now, looking at 500 millibar geopotential height, so this kind of shows you where the ridges are versus the troughs. And as you can see, the European Artificial Intelligence is in agreement with the European ensemble members. That trough is going to set up shop here, get this southwest flow across the west. You see the ridge kind of get swashed down there across the southwest USA and portions of Mexico. And you see how this trough just hangs on. We're now over 200 plus hours out in the forecast. This trough does not want to go anywhere. It wants to keep the air conditioning kicked on across much of the region. And yeah, and I know a lot of mossbacks out there that will not complain about that activity. And I'll scroll through that all one more time. Yeah, we got some trough that's going to hang out with us here through the second half of the month, it looks like, or at least a big portion of it. Now, looking at 500 millibar heights and the anomaly, and just kind of driving home the point that when we get a trough, a lot of times it can amplify things like ridges in other portions of the country here. So somebody else's trough is someone's trough is someone else's ridge, and so on and so on. And you can kind of see these troughs and ridges as they ebb and flow and move around and bring heat waves and then bring cooler periods down to much of the North American look here on the European artificial intelligence model. But yeah, as you can see, that trough wants to hang around over us. Now, looking at this 46 days European extended, this is known as the weeklies, and you can see below normal signal, quite strikingly so, as we go on in through the later portion of July. Don't like to see that here, and I keep checking back daily to see if we're going to get any kind of change to this, but nothing so far. And it's going to be reflected in the drought monitor here. This gets updated every Thursday. Today's Tuesday, so we'll check back in a couple of days here. But you can see we are starting to bring some moderate drought here across the region. Some abnormally dry is in the bright yellow. And if we continue with that below normal precipitation, of course, what naturally is going to follow is we're going to enhance some of this drought there. But at least there's no severe drought across Idaho, Washington, or Oregon at this time. You go across Montana, you get a little bit severe drought there as well. Now, 6 to 10 day, got the below normal signal. Don't really disagree with that one as we go through June 19th. But this one here is at odds with the European ensembles here. So I think they're just kind of broad brushing this again. We got the trough around, so that's kind of throwing out there that we should be above normal precipitation for this time frame, but that might not be the case. Now, looking at the artificial intelligence, total precipitation in inches, and I'm going to go ahead and look at this one again here. We're going to take a look at that and see just how much it throws at us over the next 15 days. So there is some precipitation coming at some point here. So maybe it will fall during that time the Climate Prediction Center did say. But yeah, we'll go ahead and break that down as we get a little bit closer, because we're still looking, you got to go over 144 hours out there before you start to see that precipitation arriving for Seattle or Southwest BC, for example. We'll see how that trends. And there's one more look at the infrared satellite imagery. You see how you can't really pick up a lot of that smoke east of the mountains on the infrared satellite imagery, so that's why we look at other spectrums on it, the GOES 18 satellite imagery, to kind of show us that smoke. But yeah, there it is, east of the Rockies. I don't mind that staying away there. That makes summers pretty miserable here when you're dealing with all that forest fire smoke or whatever is burning. But yeah, so anyway, we'll break everything down again tomorrow. Again, eyes on the sky there across portions of Montana, Oregon, Idaho over the next few days, getting that thunderstorm activity. We'll break everything down all again tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a good day otherwise, and I will talk to you guys then.